Welcome to our next lecture, and today's topic is linear transformer. Linear transformer is generally a four-terminal device that is used to change the voltage level or isolate two different portions of the circuits from each other, and it consists of two magnetically coupled coils. In general, simply we can model a linear transformer like this one where a voltage source is connected here. This R1 is the resistance of the coil L1, and there is another coil L2 with internal resistance of R2, and this is the load impedance connected at the transformer. These are different shapes of transformers. These are small size transformers. We can usually see them in laboratories. These are bigger power transformers. And now we have to write the equations for these. On primary side, the voltage is equal to R1 times I1, j omega L1 times I1, and mutual inductance M times I2. However, the point is the sign of this mutually induced voltage, because this current I1 is entering the dotted terminal and current I2 is leaving the dotted terminal, M would have the negative sign like this one. And for second coil, I2 times j omega L2 plus I2 times R2 plus I2 times ZL minus j omega M times I1 is the equation for this second loop. And when we see that there is only one voltage source, and the impedance as seen across these terminals of the voltage source can be found by the ratio of voltage and current being drawn from here. So using these two equations, we can get this input impedance of the transformer V upon I1, and by simple manipulation substitution we can get this equation. This is an interesting equation where R1 plus j omega L1 are the components on the primary side. However, there is another portion in this equation which contains all the components connected on the secondary side. This means that the input impedance as seen by this voltage source is not only due to these two components or this primary inductor. However, it also sees the inductance or the impact of the elements connected on the secondary side, and this is due to this mutual inductance thing. And this portion of the impedance is called as reflected impedance, omega square M square upon R2 plus j omega L2 plus ZL. This is called as reflected impedance. It is sometimes very convenient to replace the magnetically coupled circuit by an equivalent circuit which have no magnetic coupling, and for that we can have some mathematical foundation. For example, the voltage current relationship for the primary and secondary coils can be given in matrix form. From these equations you can say V is equal to I1 and I2, and these values can be written here like this one. In this case we have neglected R1 and R2, the resistances indicating the power dissipation across these coils. And if we have to find I1 and I2, we need to invert this matrix, and this will be given like this one. And from here our goal is to match equation 13.43 and 44 with the corresponding equations of T or pi networks. And for the T or Y networks, figure 13.22 mesh analysis provides the terminal equation like. So T network is like this one. So we want to replace our given network in this way. So the equation for this T network is given by equation 13.45. How can we get it? V1 is equal to I1 LA, then equation in this loop for LC times I1 plus I2, because the current I1 and I2 both entering this node and they have to travel this way. So in this way we can write this equation using simple KCL and KVL rules. So by equating these equations, what we get is LA, what we have to write in place of LA is L1 minus M. What we have to write in place of LB, L2 minus L2 minus M, and in place of LC we can write M. So this mutually coupled circuit can be replaced by a T network where the values of LA, LB and LC are calculated using equation 13.46. Similarly, for pi network, the generic form of pi network is given here, and we can write the equation of currents in this scenario for this circuit, and which can be simply seen as these equations. And now comparing this equation with this, we can get the values of LA, LB and LC from simple substitution and comparing. So in this way, the simple linear transformer or mutually coupled circuit can be converted into pi or T networks. This is important when we want to simplify our calculation and we want to get rid of mutual inductance kind of thing. Have a look at the example. In the circuit of figure 13.24, calculate the input impedance and current I1. Take Z1 equal to this, and Z2 equal to this, and ZL equal to this thing. So we have to write the equation simply as we have written before as well. Zn is equal to Z1 plus J this plus omega square M square divided by R2 J omega L and ZL. This is the equation we are going to write, and it's here. This is Zn. So the current I1 can be simply calculated. We have now Zn, so V upon Zn is I1. And in order to find the equivalent T circuit for the transformer, we can use the same relationships that we have just seen and calculate the values. Here we have to find the solve for I1, I2 and V0 using T equivalent circuit. So first we need to convert it into T equivalent and then find different currents. Next topic would be ideal transformer, and ideal transformer is the transformer which has no power losses across it. It is just transforming the voltage from one level to another level without dissipating any energy any power across its own circuit. This is the ideal transformer. This means that this transformer has perfect coupling, that is K is equal to 1. None of the energy is dissipated in nearby air or nearby space, as well as none of the energy is dissipated across the resistive components. So in frequency domain, the equation for the transformer can be written as figure 13.14 we need to see, and in that case the amount of this is simple 13.14 circuit is very simple. This is primary inductor, this is secondary inductor, this is voltage 1, this is voltage 2. So we can just simply consider these as the primary and secondary coils of the inductor. So based on these we can write these equations, and by simple manipulation we can reach this final equation about the ideal transformers, where V1 upon V2 or V2 upon V1 is N2 upon N1 is equal to N. So a step down transformer would be the one in which secondary voltage is lesser than the primary voltage. Secondary voltage is V2 and primary voltage is V1. So if secondary voltage is lesser than the we say that the transformer is step down transformer, and vice versa. The complex power in primary winding, as before, the relationship for complex winding is phasor voltage at primary winding times the conjugate of phasor current. So by simply putting the values, we can see that the power at the primary coil is similar as the secondary coil. If the voltage is stepped up, the current would be stepped down, and vice versa, in order to maintain the same amount of power. And from previous relationship, if we need to find the input impedance, it will be ZL upon N square, because there is no dissipation across R1 or R2, so we need to eliminate that portion from the input impedance equation we have seen in previous topic. So and the input impedance will be simplified like this one. Now the important point is how we can find the Thevenin equivalent of this transformer circuit. In order to get the Thevenin equivalent, we need to consider the equivalent across the two terminals A and B, and by simply deriving the equation, what we can see is the Thevenin input impedance is equal to Z2 upon N square, and V2 is Z2 times I2. The general rule for eliminating the transformer and reflecting the secondary circuit to the primary side is divide secondary impedance by N square. Secondary impedance by N square, divide the secondary voltage by N, and multiply the secondary current by N. In this way, we can replace the whole circuit of the transformer. We can eliminate these two coils, and we can simply write the circuit in this fashion. Vs1, this is the primary voltage, this is primary impedance, and we have to add these two components here as well, where Z2 upon N square is the Thevenin equivalent impedance on the secondary side, and Vs2 upon N is the voltage source on the secondary side now. Similarly, the rule for eliminating the transformer and reflecting the primary circuit to the secondary side: multiply the primary impedance by N square, multiply the primary voltage by N, and divide the primary current by N. it is completely opposite. If we want to keep the secondary voltage and translate it in terms of primary, then on the primary side, then secondary voltage will remain the same, secondary impedance will remain the same. However, the primary impedance is multiplied by, here it was divided by n square, and here it is multiplied by n square. Whereas the secondary voltage was divided by n square, here it is multiplied. So if we want to keep this primary voltage here in the transformer, and we can replace this whole circuit, like this whole circuit is equivalent, circuit in figure 13.33 is equivalent to the circuit in figure 13.35 or 13.36. 13.35 because we have kept the primary side constant and we have to translate the secondary side, and if we need to do this, we need to divide the secondary impedance by n square and secondary voltage by n. You can see secondary voltage is Vs2 and secondary impedance is Z2. And if we want to keep the secondary voltage and impedance, then we need to translate the primary side values. And how can we do that? Z1 multiplied by n square and Vs1 multiplied by n. With this, we close this lecture. Students can solve these examples on their own. Thank you very much.